To me, all hope is literally stripped away from me. So why bother trying to do anything that I'm supposed to if nothing is going to help me out in the end anyways? When I wake up in the morning, the first thing that always pops into my head is this lovely little thing right here. I mean, this is really what my big purpose right now. It's all about her, but it's helping people. It's always been about helping people. Obviously, in my job, I do this, and a lot of the patients I see have medical conditions that require healthy eating, physical activity, and just instead of painting a negative picture for people, I want to paint that positive picture. If I can sit in a room with someone and have them leave with a smile on their face knowing that they can make a change and do it, then that's my purpose. I'd help somebody. I don't really remember much up to the time I was 13. It was the typical kid life, you know, playing with your friends, playing on the swing set outside. I liked watching a lot of cartoons and movies, so I was inside a lot as well. I do remember this weekend very well. It was Labor Day weekend of 1992. It was a Saturday, and I was in 8th grade, so it was in the fall obviously, and I was standing by the coffee maker, but I looked at my dad, and he was sitting at the table and reading the newspaper, and he kept glancing over me. And my dad has this specific look he gives you when he is absolutely focusing on you, and it's not always a good thing. So that actually was the start of my whole life right there that morning. My mom, who was a nurse at the time, who had type 2 diabetes then as well, she brought out her old-fashioned meter and said, I was afraid of this, but I think it's time to check it out. And it wouldn't even register on her meter. And that's when the trip to the hospital came about, and the doctors actually told me what my numbers were at that time, and it was over 1,000. And at that time I was actually going into a coma. It wasn't until I graduated that I started working with this woman that put everything in perspective for me and put me in with a group of doctors that painted a positive picture of what diabetes could be if you do what you're supposed to. So it started with eating better, eating frequent meals, watching my blood sugars, exercising, and then when the weight started coming off, it's just like everything started improving, and that just gave me the motivation to keep doing better. I wanted to have a family. I didn't want to lose my eyesight by the time I was 30, and around the time I'm talking about now, I was 24. I had 6 years to go technically until I hit that age. I didn't want to die at 50. I mean, I had a life to look forward to, so every positive change that happened, it just kept pushing me further and further to do better. And obviously, here I have this little baby girl, so the doctor that told me that I would never be able to have kids, well, I hope you're watching this, because here she is. So yeah, that was a time for change. I'm Rachel, and I have type 1 diabetes. I'm a Red Strider, and I'm walking this year for the American Diabetes Association's walk because it encourages me so much to be around so many enthusiastic and positive people who have diabetes just like me.